Started already, but yeah, I'm just going through, just looking at some references or images that I can use, to actually make the poster. So let's dive in. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. I already got a couple images pulled that just in case I don't see anything that I like here. I found a few that I like, but I really liked Cowboy Bebop as a kid, like when I was growing up. So I just decided I'm gonna go ahead and make a poster for it. I was kind of on the fence about like who I should design a poster for, cause I could design one for Spike, or I really want to design one for Faye. So maybe maybe y'all will end up getting two Cowboy Bebop posters, but I'm just kind of going through here right now, just seeing. I just want to do some, some searching, just to find a decent image that I could probably use for this. So I'm a Cowboy Bebop. Let's do like stills, cause I want like actual scenes from the anime. So let's see if we can find something here. Hmm. I definitely gotta use this dog, the little dog, in something, whether it be for this poster or I'll do a second one. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna save that. Maybe he gets a poster completely to himself. You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of cool. But all right, so I don't know the intro. Does anybody know the intro song that they use for Cowboy Bebop? Or maybe something that Spike says one of the one of the episodes. I need something like, okay, let's Google, let's look for this. Cowboy. What do you call, maybe I need like a transcript. Let's look let's search for that. Let's try that. Yeah, like movie transcripts, yeah. Huh. Spike and Jet dialogue, wiki quotes. Huh. There's another word for it that'll like give me more specific results. Let me see if I can, let me see what I can find here. Oh, this is like actual transcripts from one of the episodes. I need like a long passage though. Something to put like in this space here, because right now it's just a lorem ipsum. Um so let's try it. Cowboy Bebop, Spike. What is this? Hmm. Well, we can always change that later. We can come back to it. Oh, let's one more. Let's search one more thing. So let's do Cowboy, Bebop, Spike, dialogue. Let's try that. Okay, this is what we want. This is good. So let's try CBR. Let's try fandom.com. Okay, this looks useful. Okay, this is good. Okay. Let's start with this, and then maybe we can like stitch it together. Like stitch two passages together. So when I'm doing this, I want my text to like stick to this bounding box that I have here. So that's good. Let me find something else. And I don't want to spend a lot of time looking for this text because I want to get into some stuff that's way cooler than this. Okay, let's see. I just want like another long passage from Spike. That's not a long passage, but that's kind of cool. I like that. Okay. And I just want to fill this box here. So it doesn't really matter what goes in it as long as it's like a quote from Spike, because this poster is mainly going to be for Spike, who is arguably the main character in Cowboy Bebop. Let's go to this. Let's do this. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is great. Okay, that first one was great. It was a lot. Let's. Okay. Let's stick with that first one. It don't get much better than that. So let's grab that. This might actually fill up this entire thing without the first quote that we had. And if it doesn't, we'll just keep the first one and just kind of add this in. Oh, they're about the same length. Cool. Let's get a shorter one then to fill up that space. Oh, I love this. I actually remember this scene. So that's nostalgic for me. So I'm gonna go with that. And let's see how far that comes down. That's pretty much perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. And we can just shrink that text. I want to stick to my grid here. I don't feel that this is a necessary place to break that grid. So let me just go and decrease that character size. So let's nothing crazy. Let's just do like 0.35 and 0.34. Perfect. let's get this placed around somewhere. Just roughly, let's get this lined on the grid. And I want to go ahead and get my modules in there. But let's fix this text real quick. And I can get out of this. Okay, so this would actually be a cool place to put like the Japanese type that they have like within that logo. So I think I already found that. So let me see if I can find that. I don't. Wait, I know I have that somewhere. Let's see. I should be able to find that. Let's type Cowboy. A wiki commons. There we go. That's what I want. Wait, no, wrong one. I want. Where is it? I think it's that one. But let's try this one here. It's gotta be one of these. Okay. What is this one? Perfect. That's exactly what I want. So let's download that. I'm just gonna get that full resolution. Can I just like drag it or what? Whoa. Okay, here it is. Got it. So let's find that in my downloads. Let's snag that. I should be able to pull that straight in. Tight. We don't need it to open. Copy, paste. And it looks like this is just an outline. So I may change that later, but for now it'll do. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna replace this lorem ipsum with that right there. And let's make this white. And maybe I can shrink this here. So let's just grab one side of this. And just drag it in. And then let's pull this over. Perfect. I'm gonna do it a little more. Perfect. Cool. I like it a lot. And just some small detail stuff here. Let me, as there's this black outline on this. I kind of want to change that. I want to make that white. So let's do that. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Let me see it in black again. Yeah, I like it in white way more. Cool. So we've got our text. We've got our Japanese text in there. Okay, so let's get some modules loaded in. And I have those open here. These are this is pretty much my archive of all of my modules. So I just want to pick a couple that I like, that I think might work well with this. So let me go with, let's see. Do y'all have a favorite? Anyone you want to pick? Let's see. I really like this one. So let me grab that. And I'll put that in here. And I want to need something that's going to contrast with that and look nice. Maybe this one. Let's, Tough decision. They all look so good. Let's go with, that one looks cool. I like this one though. Let's go with that one. Cool. So I can get rid of those now. All right, now I just want to line this up to my grid. Just kind of get it as close as I can without snapping it. So let's do that. Yo, what's good? How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by the stream. Okay, let's line this one up on the grid. Get that close. Doesn't have to be perfect. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we're gonna break the grid a little bit here just because we've got this indentation right here. So we kind of want to make up for that so it doesn't seem like there's so much like white space over here as opposed to the rest of the layout. You see kind of how it looks like it's like farther off to the right than it is to the left. You can just kind of compensate for that. Just like scoot it over a little bit. Like maybe line it up there. Maybe inch it back just a bit. That looks good. Okay. And what about this one? Okay. I'm gonna pull that over. Actually, I want to pull it a little to the left. kind of make up for this here. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. And next, I just I wanna get the sizing of this right. I want to get this to line up with my grid as close as possible without breaking it. Only breaking it if I need to. So you can see that that fits in there pretty nicely. But if we try and line it up perfectly to the grid, we kind of start bumping into the right module over there. So let's bring it back down and let's line it up here to this top part right here. And cool, that looks good. That looks really good. And now we can line up our rule. Just line that up right there as well. And we can kind of take this and move it around, see what area fits best. I don't want to cover this up because then this kind of starts to look like two O's instead of a B, and this starts to look like kind of a geometric looking C instead of a E. Yo, what's going on, Mr. Lion? How are you doing? Or Mrs. Lion? So I'm gonna stick with placing that at the bottom. I kind of like it here, just kind of hanging off. Looks like it belongs there. So let's leave it there. Now let's come up here, tweak this area a little bit. Actually, okay. There's a lot of space in between here. I kind of want to get rid of that before I move on. So let's grab that. Chillin', can't complain. Same. I have nothing in life to complain about right now. Wish I did have something to complain about though. Unfortunately, I don't. But okay, that looks good. We're kind of breaking our grid a little bit here, but it's okay. It's one of those things, one of those rules in design that's meant to be broken. So we can also like scoot this over a little bit, kind of make that, kind of center that a little bit, kind of get a nice balance with our white space here. So this area, let me pull that up. So this area looks very balanced, and then we have this area as well. And just got a nice space in between that type. And we can kind of cheat this a little bit too and kind of make it bigger. Not much, but start adding in, start worrying about all of the small details. Those things go a long way, especially when you're dealing with layouts. So, okay, I like that. That's looking good. I could probably cheat this too and bring it over a little bit. And nudge that a bit. Yeah, that's looking good. So let's go up here. I'm pretty pleased with how this top part is looking already. So this rule here, I kind of want to put it somewhere where it'll complement that left module and that type. It serves as like, it's almost like an and symbol. So it's like image and Cowboy. So let's there. It feels in the way right there. Maybe there, maybe. Actually, I kind of like it there. I kind of like it there. Let's just make sure it's centered though. Doesn't have to be perfect. And let's cheat it a little bit and bring it down past that line just a bit. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So let's see what we have here. Let's bring this back over. Let's see. Kind of want to get rid of this little doodad here, this little part extending off. So let's do this. Let's just want to mask this actually, because I might not keep this change. Actually, no, I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's leave it the way it is. I'll mess with it later. Okay. I'm gonna break a cardinal rule here. And I'm gonna stretch this type. So I want to get this to be a little taller so it fills in my space, like how Bebop looks like extremely big down there. You know, it's taking up a lot of space. It's it's prominent, stands out on the grid. Let's do the same thing. I want that same feeling with this type up here, but there's so many letters in there that it's kind of making it look thin. So what we can do is kind of just squish that together, and I'll like space that out a little bit. And let's just stretch this out. I wonder if I stretch it here, if it picks it up here. No. Okay. So let's do it. Let's stretch it from here. This looks safer. Okay, so five looks pretty good. I'm liking where 5 is sitting at. And let's just, okay, I want that to align to the top right there. And I'll move this up. Let's bring in our rule here so we can kind of see where this rule needs to fall. Perfect. But this can also stand and be a little bit bigger. So let's bring that way up and break our grid a little bit. And scoot this back over so that our C lines with the grid. Overshoots it a little bit too. And let's adjust as needed for this rule here. Line that back up right there. Cool. Sweet, I'm liking that. That's looking good. Okay. Let's take our text, put it up here. Let's have that fit in there. I might put this in like a Google Translate thing, so it looks more like a manga poster. So let's go to Google Translate. And let's just drop that in and let's grab that. So drop that in there, and gives us a couple more lines. So let's go through my font library here. See what we got. All the way at the bottom, you'll find the Japanese, Chinese text. Let's see what we got. There we go. That looks kind of cool. I'm liking that. That looks good. That actually looks really good. That looks good. It's missing characters though. That looks really good. Huh. Let's try that. Oh, that's way too heavy. So when it comes to the layout, did you use a reference? I've been struggling with coming up with an interesting layout. I came up with the layout. I didn't use a reference. This was kind of just like trial and error through my own designs and like coming up with my own layouts. If I did use a reference for this, if I use any reference, it's another design that I've made. So yeah, no outside references to make my layouts for this. But if you're struggling with coming up with interesting layouts, I'd say maybe looking at like I know that what inspires me is like old magazines, just kind of like looking at the way that their grids are set up, and like really old magazines, like magazines from the 90s, like gaming magazines, anime magazines. I actually have a couple that would be pretty cool. I can show you. So let me grab it. Okay. So you're struggling to come up with layouts. Here's an old photo book. It's just a book about how to do photography. But there's some gems in here as far as layouts go. You have like your typical 3-column layout, and this stuff is really good. Like it may not look like much when there's so much of it and it's in a magazine, but look at these things as if, they're on your Instagram feed. They look really good. Like here you can see it again, just a 3-column grid. If you're struggling with doing layout designs, like it depends a lot on what you're using. If you're using Illustrator or Photoshop to start your layouts, then it's going to be really difficult. You should use InDesign for something like that. And once you figure out, like your layout within InDesign, because like they have like where you can kind of set how many columns you want the grid to be. You can set up how much space you want in between like each paragraph or each set of body copy that you have, and you can set up like how large you want the gutter or like the border to be, and that stuff is all good, So I say definitely get in design and kind of experiment, with some of those experiment with that preview mode that they have and experiment with those columns, because usually I use, whenever I'm doing something in InDesign, I'll use like a 6 or 12 column grid, and that's pretty like standard. Like from a 6 or 12 column grid, you can pretty much make anything. But yeah, here's another one. Not much of like layout heavy stuff in this, but it's just cool stuff. Like the way they break this out and like make this column smaller than the rest, it does a lot to like add to how dynamic the page is. So yeah, get in, dive in, look at some old magazines that your mom has laying around, whatever, and just kind of just make it work. Just kind of like set it up, make it work, and make it yours. But okay, so I actually saw some type that I really wanted to use for this. It looks like it was an apple something. I think it's this one. Oh, it's missing characters. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be too heavy. I can tell. Okay, let's use that. Okay, that looks good. What I'm looking for with my type, with this layout, is a nice contrast. Like I already have my elements that are gonna be really heavy on the page, between the modules, and well, these won't be as heavy because there will be images in those. But between the type and between the main type and the modules, it's already kind of getting pretty heavy. So what I'm doing now is just choosing a font that's gonna provide a good balance between those. So, so I want a thin font, and this looks pretty cool. So for now, I'm gonna stick with this. And it's starting to look a little tight in between here, my micro space. So let's space that out. I just want to just kind of cheat my grid a little bit and maybe throw that in between that column block right there. So, and let's kind of cheat that and bump it down a little bit so I get a little bit more space in between, a little bit more breathing room. Bump it up a little bit more, bump it down, bump it up, bump it down. Okay, that looks good. Okay. You see how that one movement just kind of like changed the entire flow of the copy, so it's the small things. It's the little things that matter. So keep that in mind when you're doing your grids. Okay, I'm liking this. It's time to move on into some cooler stuff. So I already have some images kind of that I pulled from Pinterest, and just kind of like doing a deep dive into Cowboy Bebop. kind of watched a bunch of the earlier episodes and I pulled like some stills. So I'm gonna pull those up for you guys. How is everyone? What are you designing? How's your day going? Okay. So I've got this here, and I can kind of exit out of this for now. Okay, so I've got this image here. I've got this. Let's see. Oh, wait, it's not changing. Okay, cool. Here we go. So this navy blue that I'm using isn't final on the poster. I really like this shot. I could see that framed very well inside one of the modules. So, and that would just be great for both, that looks like what kind of like a fuchsia color would definitely help carry and kind of help sell the poster. But that is a striking scene, and it just looks really good. It's high res too. It's very hard to find high res images or crisp images of early anime. And this one is great. I think I want to go with the navy blue. I like this one, and I like how these look, but this isn't like your normal Spike. This is, this is him outside of his everyday wear. I want to go with that navy blue because it's kind of iconic to the manga. And this is great too. Not a lot of blues in this. So these two would probably go great. Just because you get the washed out yellow here and you get it here as well. So you don't really need that blue to help sell it. But curious to know which ones y'all are feeling. Which ones do you like? This one is cool, but it's not as crisp as the others. That's the only reason I wouldn't use that image. I love that plain look on his face. So, but yeah, I'm thinking in between these two and these two. It's a hard decision. And navy blue with the gun. That's what I'm leaning towards. That's what I like more. Let's try it. Let's drop it in. Okay. Let's try. Okay. I run into that a lot when I'm getting images from the web. So let's try convert JPEG to PNG. Okay, so I'm gonna just drop that in here. Hopefully this works. Weird. Yeah, this is an odd message, but when you're downloading images from online, you probably run into it every now and then. But a quick workaround for this, usually when this pops up for Illustrator, you can open Photoshop, and Photoshop will read the image just fine, and you can just pull the image from Photoshop and just drag it over into Illustrator, and it'll be okay. But let's try it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I've got Photoshop open on my bottom screen, and we're just gonna drag that over. Perfect. I kind of want another image of Spike with the gun. Okay, let's see what we can find here. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. It's like the same scene, but in a different direction. I kind of like that. It's like he's waving it around the poster. He's kind of helping to guide your eye. So let's drag that over. Maybe we'll use that. Maybe we don't. This is great. This is really great. Let's drag that in. And this works really good too, even though he has the black on, because you can still see that navy blue in there, and the headphones help and complement the suit, so it looks good. Okay. This would be so cool. That's great too. Let's load that in. Spike just pointing a gun in front of the camera. It's just something about it that just like, it's iconic. Or was the one of him loading up the clip? Did I lose it? No. That one. Yes. Amazing. That looks so good. Yeah, that's great. That is great. Okay, cool. We've got a nice little selection here. These are really good. I'm happy with how this poster is turning out. Do you all have any posters, any other like anime or like manga that you want to see me do a poster of? Cuz I've been doing this style for a while, and before I like really switch things up and kind of just like evolve my style, I really want to get through everything that's just kind of nostalgic for me and nostalgic for majority of my fans and majority of my viewers. I know you guys love the free poster downloads. You can also, if you don't want to download the poster for some reason and you just want to buy a print, that helps me a lot. And, you know, understand if you're too lazy to just get it printed yourself and you got money to throw around, so I'm more than happy to print it for you, and more than happy to take anime recommendations too, or might start back doing the rap posters and kind of extend it out to not just rappers but more like just musicians. No, I did not do a Yusuke one. That poster has to be like perfect. I am resonating on that idea, but it's definitely coming because Yu Yu Hakusho was like prime time, like was like prime anime for me, prime interest in anime. Like that is probably one of several animes that I can just like I can finish watching it and then I can like just start it back over tomorrow. So like I'll definitely do a Yusuke Urameshi poster. And maybe I'll stop doing like the right now for anime posters. I'm kind of just doing the main protagonist. I really want to get into doing characters that are involved within like the subplot of things. So, yeah. But let's drop these in. Let's see how this fits. So, I'm gonna hide that, and I'm just gonna make this big now because we are making some progress. And let's bring these up so you guys can see them. I'm gonna bring these over. These are just some little elements that I use here and there. Okay, let's see. I really like this one. Okay, just from a layout standpoint, I don't if I put this down here, I want to flip it because the way he's pointing the gun flows off of the page and it kind of takes your eye off of the page. So, if I place this down here and I just kind of want to give you guys a general idea of where my head is at when I make the posters, and like they're pretty simple to me at least, but I put a lot of thought into these. So what makes this hard to read is, it looks like it's flowing this way. We want our poster to flow kind of like, we want it to, in some way, lead your eye like this, or we want it to go, any direction, like from here. But what we don't want is for this poster to lead your eye off the page. I want to keep you trapped in it, and although that is a nice flow, it takes away from the layout. It's a good image, but it takes away from the layout because it's not helping the flow of it. But if I take this image and I just drop it in here, now we have, somewhere we're pointing to. And this is just general, something to keep in mind when you're doing cover art, anything design related, anything that you want to flow really well, anything that's not supposed to be chaotic, or like a collage or something. So now when you look at this poster, your eye is going here, so it works. So now that looks good. And another thing that I've been doing with the anime posters is, let's do this. So I'll take the module, and to make it a little bit more crisp, take that module and wait. Okay. And I'll just add another one in over the top of it, so I get this outline here. And we can go into this image and we can just add some grain to kind of help. I usually do that later, but I'll just do it just so you guys, just so you can see it. But I usually add it in with Photoshop. So you don't have to stick with just designing in Illustrator. It's good that you use each program for what it's meant for. Illustrator meant for vector. So if you're gonna do a logo or something, start with Illustrator. And if you want to add in like some crazy like Chrome, take that and just move it over to Photoshop, and you can convert it. It'll move over as a smart object, and you'll still have full functionality over that logo, that vector logo that you just made. So, all right, let's see. I don't want to mess with that, so let's move that back to where it was. Okay. Okay, that's cool. A little bit much, but it works, right? So now this one would be cool if we flipped it, which we can do that. So, and that'll help the direction, because we need something to lead into this down here. So let's try flipping this. Any of these images will work because it points in this direction. But I want to try flipping this just to see how it works. If we're being nitpicky, we can say that he always holds the gun with his right hand and he's not left-handed. This kind of makes it look like he's left-handed. So that's just another thing, that to look out for when flipping images, especially text on clothes. That's a big one. That's a big one. You don't want to mess that up. Okay. So the main part of this image that kind of adds that wow factor to it, him holding the gun on, but it has to be both. Um it has to be the look that's in his face and also the gun. You can't, just this doesn't make sense without knowing what's here. So I'm going to pass on that image, although it's a good image, just based off of the rules and the principles that we've set for ourselves. We can find something else. It's no big deal. Let's try this one. Okay, now that looks cool. That looks cool. How small can we get this? Okay. I like this image. I like it a lot. Only thing I'll say is, so there's a lot of yellow, a lot of washed out yellows in here, a lot of washed out navy blues. The same here, but then we have this extra, um, this poster or signage behind him that doesn't fit within the color palette that we currently have. So, cool image. We could fix it if we wanted to. Obviously, we could change the color of it, but let's stay true to the art of the episode, or the art of the manga. So let's get rid of that. And this is just pretty much my process for figuring out what image is gonna work best, for these posters. This one is cool. This yellow, I mean, not yellow, green works because, of the green lighting, that falls on top of his hair. So that works. This could work, but I'm gonna just stop playing, and just go ahead and just like add this in because we know that's really what I want. So let's go ahead and add that. All the colors are right. The bullets match the washed out yellows. So let's go ahead and add that in, and let's just get it as small as we can. We want as much detail in this module as possible. So let's make that small and get it centered. So now, like, the poster almost kind of feels like it's moving, So now we've got this flow of this rhythm here where this kind of falls. Hold up. What's up? Yeah. Okay, bye. Okay. But yeah, this we've kind of got this flow established. here. So now this leads into the type, and then this kind of carries your eye over through here, which then you kind of follow leading into the clip, goes into his thumb. Now we're over at Bebop. And now, we just need something here, to help fill in the space, and maybe something here, just for just to break the grid a little bit. So now it's moving. Now we're holding your attention. So oh yeah, and I want to do this and add in my outline. I might even make it a little bit thinner too. Yeah, let's go with that. Well, no. Okay, I like what it was at first. Cool. Let's get some light in here. It's getting dark. Okay. All right. Where were we? Okay, so now we just need elements to fill in this space here, and something to make this text a little bit more dynamic. So what can we find? So what are some things from Cowboy Bebop that are just like, that are just kind of iconic to the series? We got the ship. So let's go in and grab that. Of course, the dog. The dog. That would be cool. And I already have the ship here, actually. So let me just pull that in. So look how much that adds to our layout, just throwing that over that text. It looks so good. And it works because it's horizontal, and our text is, within this rectangular bounding box. So it works. And we can go in and let's open up Photoshop and let's try and cut out that dang dog. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay, this is Photoshop 2019, so I'm going to have to lasso tool all the way around this. Well, actually, I don't. Select subject. Let's do that. This is pretty hit or miss. Whoa. Okay. This is good. This is good. See how like it's like all rough around the edges? We can we can fix that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we can fix those marching ants. What we want to do is, well, first let me clean it up, and I want to remove these grids from my view. How do I do that? Yeah, remove pixel grid. Okay, so let's just go in and try and get some of this back that we lost here, or that didn't catch here. So okay. And we can get rid of this here, and we can get rid of this little space. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna clean it up later. But that's looking good. That's looking really good, actually. But it's pretty rough around the edges. So what we want to do is go to modify. We'll go to smooth. And this will smoothen our marching ants selection. You see how it just smoothed all of that up? Like look at how, jittery that is compared to that. So, we'll refine it a little bit more and kind of remove some of these little areas and add back some areas that kind of got lost in the smoothing. Okay, that looks really good. Let's grab that last little bit there. Bring that back in. We want that shadow. Cool, that's looking good. It's looking good. I'm getting real nitpicky right there. Sweet. Okay, and so I want to keep this little outline that's here, like this black outline. So what I'm gonna do is go to modify, go to expand, and I can expand in my marching ants selection. So let's just do it. Start off with 2. See what that does. That's good. Let's try 1. Let's try. Sweet. That's perfect. Perfect. And we'll go back. 3rd time's the charm. Kind of remove this additional stuff. Do I need that shadow there? Maybe I should keep that shadow. So let's go around that. Cool. That looks good. Good enough. Let's add back in some of this. And at this point, I want to, if I'm losing any of that outline, I want to add that back in too. So let's get that, you know, and if it's picking up any of these, this ground, I want to remove that. So let's get that out of here. That looks good. And some finishing touches. Like, no one's gonna care about, you know, all of this stuff, obviously, but it's the small details that matter. They all add up in the end. They all contribute to the end goal. So now let's just pull up our layers. And let's take that. Okay. Okay, so I've got some feathering around this here. So let's try this. Okay, so it's feathering that black outline. You may want that little feathering right there, but I want the values on my mask to be strictly black and white, you know? So to fix that, we can kind of just level it out as long as we're on our mask and not the actual image. So we can kind of scoot this over, like scoot that, you know, and it'll bring that back in. So maybe I'll leave it a little soft. You know, I don't want those edges to be too sharp. So let's about right there. That looks good. That looks good to me. Actually, about there. That looks good. All right, so now we can just drag this over. And voila. Sick. That's so cool. Okay. And we need something else to go right here. This could be anything. So let's try this. Let's put the dog here. And let's scoot this over. And I'm nearing the kind of the end of this poster here. And so final thing I want to do is, let's see. I want to add like some of like my basic elements back in here. So let's take, you know, like this here, kind of throw that in, you know, just to have it there. So let's put that there. No, we can kind of put this here. Oh, and this is just like the, you know, the icing on the cake, pretty much. So now I'm moving over to some icons. Smooth. Let's grab. This is my favorite one here. Let's grab this. Let's outline it. Actually, I'm going to wait to outline that. So right, I want that behind there. Just drag this down and just kind of want to line this up to that. So now we can drop this in, and we could pretty much put this anywhere we want. So I'm thinking we'll put it, let's see. It's perfect for it. Perfect opening. And maybe we'll make this dog a little smaller. He's taking up a lot of space. That's perfect. And let's reduce the thickness of those lines. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah. I may add more to this. I may change some things, but overall, I think this is great. I really like how this poster came out. If you guys have any requests, any like poster requests that you want me to do, whether it be anime or going back to the rap posters, maybe comedians or something like that, or movies. Movies would be a cool one. Let me know. I'm opening this project up to, go down so many avenues. There's so much opportunity with these modules and just, making these posters. I love doing it. So, I'm Swoop. Thank y'all for coming through the Twitch stream and watching me, wasting your time on me making a poster. Y'all have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And if you have any design questions, feel free to hit me up. My DMs are always open. I try and respond to as many people as I possibly can, if the requests aren't like crazy. But y'all hit me up. All right. I'm Swoop with the Visual Pharmacy. I'm out.